You're listening to Soap Dirt, the latest in television entertainment news.
Hey, Bold and the Beautiful fans. So Luna just had her very wicked way with Will, even though she had to get him drunk and pretend to be his virginal girlfriend to make it happen. But that leaves us with one big question. Will Luna end up pregnant with Will's kid? It's Belinda from Soap Dirt, and we're going to talk about how Bold and the Beautiful might do one of those standard super soapy plots about an unintended pregnancy that Will is shocked to find out about, since he would never knowingly sleep with Luna. But hey, first click that subscribe if you're not following us. All right, so we just saw Will passed out in the spare room at Il Giardino after Luna spiked his drinks with 180 proof booze, and Electra went home. Even though he begged her to stay, we saw Will was drunk. He wanted to get frisky, but Electra said no. She told Ivy that she respected herself enough to push for things to be just right for her to make love with Will, since it would be their first time together and Electra's first time ever to be with any man, much less Will. And Ivy applauded her niece, but things are about to go off the rails. Of course, Luna seized the opportunity she created and snuck into the room wearing the same mask that Electra had on. And Will was very bleary, but he revived himself a little bit, and he thought Electra had come back, which he asked her to do. So in Will's alcohol-addled brain, Electra changed her mind and came back to be with him. And, you know, I don't think he was thinking much. He was very addled and very turned on. So Luna played along and told Will he's been so patient, and tonight's the night they've been waiting for, all that stuff. Luna didn't let Will take the mask off at first, but eventually she did, because it was dark, and at that point he was on top of her and his face was buried in Luna's hair. And of course, you know, to her, this is a dream come true, and it's going to be his nightmare. Once they're done, I'm going to guess Will passes out again, and Luna slinks away into the night. Later this week, Lee and Sheila corner Luna with questions about where she was the night before. And when Sheila and Lee are grilling her, Luna's going to play it off, but claims she has a plan. And we know, based on official Bold and the Beautiful spoilers, that Will does not remember very much the next day. It's very foggy, you know, hungover. He's trying to put the pieces together. I'm guessing that Deacon may tell Will that he was so drunk he tucked him into bed and texted Katie to tell her he was okay. And of course, Will has no idea Luna's alive, so that's not even a thought that would ever occur to him. But once Will sees the text from Electra saying she loves him and can't wait for tomorrow night, he's going to be confused, because he was like, "Bo, what about the night we just had?" And Electra's going to tell Will that she didn't want to sleep with him because he was too drunk. And that should get his wheels turning, and maybe he remembers he slept with someone and it was not Electra. I'm sure he's going to panic. However, thinking he cheated with a rando would be a much better thing than Will's reality that's about to come out. Next week, spoilers say that he's desperate to figure out what happened. And since Luna's not on his radar, because of course they think she's dead, I wonder if Will is going to circle around and interrogate Lainey, the other chick who works at Forrester, who was flirting with him and hitting on him at the party. But her other friends can vouch for her that they all left together. So I do think he might question it, but she's got an alibi, basically. So I'm interested to see if Will runs his mouth and Electra realizes that he slept with someone, that he was drunk and cheated on her. Now, to his credit and in his defense, Will thought it was his girlfriend, and he does not seem like the cheating type. He does love Electra. So back to Lunatic Luna. She said she has a plan. That's what she tells the grandmas. And I think the plan was to get in bed with Will and get revenge on Electra. But I'm wondering if Luna also planned to get pregnant, or maybe it just works out that way. You know, maybe she's not on birth control at all and was hoping to get a little souvenir from a night with Will, a Spencer baby. And even if Luna was on birth control pills before, She obviously wasn't taking them while she was in a coma. Plus, all the antibiotics she was probably given for that quick healing bullet wound would negate them. If you're a lady, you know, antibiotics can cancel out birth control pills. They usually give you that warning when they write you the antibiotic prescription. So Will could have knocked her up. And even if Luna has a birth control implant or an IUD, there's a couple of antibiotics that can override those forms of birth control too. Specifically, one of them is an antibiotic they use to treat and prevent staph infections in hospitals. And Lee might have dosed her granddaughter with those drugs, trying to make sure that she didn't get an infection. So whether Luna intended to get pregnant or it's a whoopsie, if Bold and the Beautiful does this plot, you know she's going to be so excited to have Will's bun in her oven, a part of him that Electra doesn't have. And as if the drunk nookie thing wasn't bad enough, Will's whole world is going to blow up if it turns out he got Luna pregnant. I mean, it will be explosive for Will and Electra once they find out Luna is alive. And then next step, Will finds out he slept with Luna that night. You know, he would freak out over that. And then if she drops a baby bomb on Will, his head might explode. We know Luna has wanted Will for just forever, as soon as she saw him, basically. And I'm wondering if part of the reason was because Luna was hoping to get pregnant with a Spencer kid. If you remember, she put the moves on Bill Spencer, and it was super creepy. And if she can't have Bill as her sugar daddy, maybe Luna would settle for Bill being a granddaddy to her and Will's baby, an heir to cash in on the Spencer fortune. I mean, no doubt that would set Luna up for life, just like what Poppy was hoping to have happen when Bill thought he was Luna's dad. And Bill had been convinced because Luna had faked that one DNA test. So in her twisted mind, Luna may think if she's pregnant with Will's child that he would dump Electra to be with her, if only for the sake of the baby. And you can imagine the look on Bill and Katie's faces to find out they had a grand spawn growing in lunatic Luna's belly. But at the same time, Bill has dealt with interlopers like this before. Remember when Amber Moore got pregnant with Liam's kid after a one-night stand? Or at least that's what she was claiming. Bill tried to pay her off, and when Amber wouldn't take the money and go, he tried to rig it. Bill had that balcony over the cliff and the balcony was faulty. He was hoping Amber would just plummet to her death, pregnant and all. So if Luna is knocked up by Will, I think she's in for a rude awakening, because I don't think things will play out the way she expects, and Bill might put her out on the balcony and just accidentally give her a push. Will is sure to be furious, and they may throw her back in prison and then just wait for her to have the baby and take it away. But either way, they can't leave Luna on the loose, whether she's pregnant or not, especially not after she has added non-consensual nookie to her list of crimes on Bold and the Beautiful. So what do you think? Is she going to turn up pregnant?
Thank you for being a loyal listener. Follow us wherever you get your podcast, because you don't want to miss the next episode. Soap Dirt is on all the major podcast platforms, including Apple Podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and more.